You know, I haven't left this house in 4 days. And for the first time in 92 years, I don't feel like I'm missing a damn thing. Now I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, poor Benedict. He's given up. He's just waiting for the clock to run out. But you've got it all wrong. I haven't given up. No. I finally just arrived. My name is Benedict. I spent nearly half a century as a graphic designer. 47 years of staring at white space, trying to find the perfect balance between chaos and order. I lived in offices that smelled like stale coffee and felt like fluorescent prisons. I spent my life showing up, shaking hands that didn't matter, smiling at meetings that could have been an email. And then, one Tuesday, the white space won. I looked at my calendar, that crowded, messy, suffocating list of must-dos, and I realized something that hit me like a physical weight. I didn't want to go. So, I stayed. Now my neighbor Carol looks at me with those pity eyes when she sees me through the window. My nephew thinks I'm rotting away. Even my doctor barks at me about staying active. But they don't see what I see. They don't understand that for me, staying home isn't a cage. It's the first time in my life I've been truly free.
You know, the hardest part about staying inside isn't the silence. It's the people outside who are terrified of it. They have this phrase now: age is just a number. Have you heard it? They say it like it's a badge of honor. They want us to be active seniors. They want us at the community gym at 6 in the morning, or joining book clubs where nobody actually reads the book. They want us to keep running a race that ended for us 20 years ago. My doctor, he's a good man, but he looks at me like I'm a broken clock just because I don't want to walk 3 miles a day. He says, "Benedict, you need to stay engaged. You need to keep the gears turning." But what if the gears are tired of turning? What nobody understands is that staying active is often just a way to stay distracted. People are scared of what they'll find if they sit still long enough to actually meet themselves. As a designer, I spent my life looking at canvases. And I'll tell you a secret, the worst artists are the ones who are afraid of the blank space. They feel like they have to fill every corner with noise, every inch with color, just to prove they're doing something. That's how most people live their lives. They're so afraid of the empty canvas of old age that they clutter it with pointless meetings and fake smiles. Now, here is something that might sting a little. The people who keep pushing you to get out more, they aren't always doing it for you. They're doing it for them. They visit the version of you that makes them feel comfortable. They want to see the old Benedict who tells jokes and remembers the good old days, because if I'm still that man, then they don't have to face the reality that time is coming for them, too. Deep sigh. But I'm not that man anymore. I'm tired of the performance. I've realized that my energy is like a rare pigment now. I don't have much of it left, and I'm willing to waste it painting a picture just to make my neighbor Carol or my nephew feel better about their own mortality. If you're sitting at home right now, feeling that pressure to go out just so you don't look lonely, stop. Look at your room. Look at the way the dust floats in the light. That's not emptiness. That's clarity. You don't owe the world a busy schedule. You've already paid your dues. The world thinks we're fading because we've stopped moving. But maybe we've just finally found the perfect place to stand still. Tanai me non walik absurdi. Benedict Badayaga Kujabwa Baharka Shorban Kardahai. Toyuse Garki Chodi aesthetic cheese in main Sukun Notahai. You see, as a designer, I spent my whole life looking for the perfect subject. I traveled to different cities, sat in crowded cafes, and stared at thousands of faces, thinking that the more I saw, the more I understood about beauty. Now, at 92, I realize I was looking too hard. I was so busy scanning the horizon that I missed what was right in front of me. These days, I find more peace in the way the morning light hits the grain of my wooden floor than I ever did in a 5-star art gallery. There's a specific kind of magic in the mundane, in the way the steam rises from a cup of tea, or how the shadows lengthen across the wall as the afternoon fades. People call this loneliness because they think life without new events is a life without meaning. But they're wrong. When you stop rushing out the door, your world doesn't get smaller. It gets deeper. It's like looking at a high-resolution photograph. When you're far away, you see the big picture. But when you stay still, when you get close, you start to see the textures, the tiny imperfections, the real soul of the thing. For the first time in my life, I'm not just looking, I'm seeing. I remember a client I had back in the 70s. He wanted me to cram every single detail of his business into one small logo. He was terrified of white space. He thought if there was an empty spot, he was losing money. I tried to tell him that the empty space is what makes the logo work. It's what gives the eye a place to rest. Most people live their lives like that client. They're so afraid of an empty afternoon or a quiet evening that they cram it with noise just to feel valuable. But now, I embrace the negative space. I sit in my chair, and I don't feel the need to do anything. I don't need to produce. I don't need to perform. I am just a part of the composition now. And there's an incredible strength in that. If you are at home today, and the silence feels heavy, try changing your lens. Stop looking for the big events. Look for the small textures. The way your cat breathes while she sleeps. The sound of the wind against the glass. The weight of your favorite blanket. These aren't just things. They are the elements of a peaceful life. And once you learn to see them, you'll realize that the world outside has nothing better to offer you. I know there are people watching this right now who think I'm just trying to make being alone sound better than it is. They think Benedict is just a lonely old man trying to cope. But let me ask you something. Have you ever been at a wedding or a crowded dinner party, surrounded by laughing people, and felt like you were 1,000 miles away? That is loneliness. Loneliness is the hunger for connection when you're in a room full of noise. Solitude, on the other hand, is a feast. Solitude is when you finally stop looking for yourself in the eyes of other people and start finding yourself in the quiet of your own home. As a designer, I knew that a crowded poster is a bad poster. It's confusing. It's desperate. Your life is the same way. If you fill every second with people and plans, you never get to see the real composition of your soul. I'm not lonely. I am busy. I'm busy listening to the thoughts I didn't have time for when I was 50. I'm busy noticing the way the shadows paint a different picture on my wall every hour. I have my books. I have my memories. And most importantly, I have my peace. If you're afraid of being alone, it's usually because you don't like the person you are when nobody is watching. But here's the secret. Once you make peace with that person, once you stop trying to fix the silence, you'll realize that your own company is the best gift you've ever been given. Don't let the world shame you into thinking that a quiet house is a sad house. It's not. It's a sanctuary. Now, I don't have another 92 years ahead of me. I know exactly where I am on the timeline. But I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid because I've finally stopped running. If I could go back and talk to that young designer I was, the man who was always rushing, always shaking hands, always worried about being seen, I'd tell him to just sit down. I'd tell him that the world will keep spinning without your permission. I'd tell him that the most beautiful things in life aren't found in the chase. They're found in the stillness. Your energy is a currency. Stop spending it on people who only value you when you're performing. Stop giving away your best years to stay active for a world that will forget your name 5 minutes after you're gone. Save your energy for yourself. Save it for the morning sun. Save it for the quiet tea. Save it for the thoughts that actually matter. Staying home isn't an ending. It's a resolution. It's the moment you decide that you are enough. That your space is enough. Deep pause. I'm Benedict. And for the first time in nearly a century, I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be. Thank you for listening to an old man's ramblings. Now, do me a favor. Turn off the screen. Sit in your chair. And just listen to the silence. You'll be surprised at what it has to tell you.
Notice, this video is a creative work of storytelling. The character of Benedict is fictional and designed to reflect shared human experiences and life lessons. Any financial figures or personal stories mentioned are for illustrative and educational purposes only. This content does not provide professional financial, legal, or mental health advice. Copyright 2026, The 92-Year Witness. All rights reserved.